spooky things in non-spooky places. Grew up in innocent North Germany, playing in the woods, building forts, etc. Think I'm used to the wilderness, even though we play like 1 kilometer away from the main road. B10. Moved to the Isle of Wight in the UK. Basically redneck capital of the UK. Island folk are strange, racist, and for the most part stupid, very hilly. I mean like rolling hills, like in the Lord of the Rings shit. Hills also have woodland to them. Live near these hills. Long story short, even though I moved away now, I can't sleep there now in my family home. Something has been following me for years. We'll tell stories of these happenings if anyone's interested. Also, generally slightly related thread. No one here yet, but I'll start with some early memories. The house my family still lives in to this day is hella old. I'm pretty easily spooked, so as a kid it's even worse. Every noise or movement, I jump up in terror. The house is basically hell. We only recently moved here, so everything is new. But I noticed that in the downstairs living room, figures move past the window. I freak out almost every time. Mother sees them too, and is also a bit freaked out, but she says it's probably just trees or some shit. Grandparents are old.jpg. What? I didn't see anything. They lived in the house for like 40 years plus. Claim to have never seen anything. Fucking old people don't know shit. Move on a few months. Getting settled in. Figures are getting pretty normal by this point. My mother, my brother, and I are all in the same room for the time being. The village seems to be a pretty nice place. House is big for most UK houses. 4 bedrooms, 2 living rooms, 2 bathrooms. Yeah boy.jpg. Start to explore the area. Usually just my brother and me. Up the hills we go. Stay out of woodland because my brother doesn't like it. He's a lot younger, so I don't want a crying kid on my hands in the middle of nowhere. My brother, as it turns out, was some sort of freaky shit detector. We'll get to that much later, when he starts developing independent characteristics. Okay, we stick to the hills for now. Hills look like something like this pic. Usually daunting, but the paths up to it tend to be quite good. This continues for a while, and we feel okay with it. Father comes to visit, daddy.jpg. Happy as fuck. Now nothing can go wrong. Decide now's a good time to go up a straight ass path to the top of the hill. The path goes directly through the forest that we usually avoided. Even brother seems okay with it with our dad here. Walking on sunshine, whoa. The woods are pretty damn thick. Find some edible leaves that taste a bit like garlic. My dad used to pick at him as a kid, so we dig in. Dead fucking silence. I mean, fucking nothing. Not even the wind. I fucking hate the sound of the wind in that forest, to be honest. So, not bad, but still. Dead fucking silent. Kid brain has interpreted what I saw as a hooded figure standing downhill. Adult brain knows different. It wasn't hooded. I blocked out what it looked like. I simply have no fucking idea. It just stood there, at the bottom of the path at the entrance to the forest. Forgot pick. Now, basically the forest has a few intersecting paths, kinda like a backwards K shape. We come up from the bottom left hand side. Dad ignores / doesn't see figure and keeps walking up. DaddyDon'tLeaveUs.com. We follow, walking. I didn't fucking dare look back. Path is pretty long, but we get to the intersection of the K-shaped paths. This place is weird. When I used to go up these not a few years back, there's this weird thing that just draws you downhill. Not even gravity. You just kinda wanna not go up, but back down. We all feel it. We all wanna go back down. At the bottom of this path is the next village over. The village even has a church. Wow. It's the one in the pic. Strange place. Can feel completely serene one day and completely wrong. I guess that's the word. The next. Today was a good day. .mp3. All is fine, but we head home along the road for some reason. A bit more lore. Woodland on the island is never really that large, but are basically connected by brush / tree-ish paths most of the time. Same goes for my home. Pic related. The church will feature a lot in stories if I gain interest, so it's there for reference. Looks really non-woody and pic, but let me tell you, it's not as bad as it looks. Aesthetics wise anyway. We make it home okay. We're distracted by kitty things, so I forget all about whatever the fuck it was I saw. Shadow spooks dad when we're watching a movie. He ain't used to that shit. In my mind, they weren't used to him either. I go outside to look up at the hill behind house. Think I see a figure at the top of the hill. Okay, whatever. Go back in. Do more things over the next few days, non-hiking related things. Put everything I saw out of my mind. Weeks pass by. It should be noted that this is only one of the main storylines of events that happened to me. Some other shit goes down at points, and I may reference them in passing. Let me know if you want to know more about these things in particular. Dad is gone, back to school. Back the long walks in the hills behind my house. One day, decide to just go over the fence and go straight up. Paths are for pussies. Remember the thing I saw? Lol, what an idiot. There's nothing up here. Pic related. I was fucking wrong. I mean this picture of the path I got off Google. People fucking go here. Do they stare down at the kids in the middle of the fucking night? Do they? I've been walking about half an hour now, so I'm pretty tired. I was like 12, so I've never even seen a gym. I'm also piss scared. 1. There's a path up here. 2. Someone was atop this hill. 3. They were looking at me. I decide, like the fucking pussy I am, to make amends with whatever it is. I pull out a notepad and pencil and write, "You may come down. You may come in, but you may only come in after 7 years." I have no idea why the fuck I wrote that. Other shit's been happening to me too. A few of those things related to what I do up in the hills, and for what I gathered, it's best to kiss and make up than to be stubborn. I wrote that note almost 10 years ago. Stuff gets bad when I visit back home. I may have not allowed it in, but that didn't stop it from following me either. Thinking back, I'm not even sure it was one. There have been more things. I really don't know how to describe them. All I have in my memory are hooded figures, but like I've said, I've blocked that shit out. OP is back, kids. Nope, it wasn't done. I was just really tired. Don't even know if anyone is still here, but I'll dump a few stories. Fast forward a few years after leaving the note, I've probably forgotten all about it, as I've not seen a shadow dude in ages now. Mom is working, but my grandparents are looking after my brother and I. Now, we've both become somewhat used to bumps in the night, but both of us hear actual footsteps from upstairs. For once, the old people hear something too. Grandmother goes to investigate. She was getting pretty close to getting dementia at this point, but was still relatively sane for a person of her age. Grandmother's gone. Grandpa watching shitty TV with us. Asshole lazy dog is also just chill as fuck. I mean seriously, that dog never saw or did anything unless it was an actual person. Grandmother, "It's just Hendy." All of my what? Asked, "Who's Hendy?" After many times of asking and getting now a straight answer, I was told after my younger brother went to bed, be about 50 plus years ago. Woman living alone in the house we currently live in. Old woman is old. Has a care lady just a few houses down. Miss Hendy is nice, even if a bit old and forgetful. Care lady tells Miss Hendy that she's going on holiday. That's nice, dear. JPEG. Care lady tells others to look after Miss Hendy while she's gone. They forget. Oops. Care lady gets back, finds Miss Hendy frail but alive, basically sewn herself into a massive amount of clothes. Taken to the hospital, treated for dehydration, etc., etc. Comes home, dies within a week in her sleep. For some reason, my grandparents thought it would be funny to blame bumps in the night on her, but also acknowledged that there are certain things that happen that are somewhat benevolent. Opening curtains and closing the windows when it rained. This story kinda leads into some other stuff that happened. For some reason, after hearing about Miss Hendy, I feel safer in the house. Other stories about Miss Hendy involve her getting people out of bed to turn the gas off and general stuff like that. As a kid, a watchful protector feels good, man. Gave me some sort of confidence. I couldn't have been dumber. Begin to stay up later and not be a pussy. Reading through old books and maps that my grandfather was an avid reader / collector of. If he really was interested in that stuff, I don't know. He never really seemed to want to read it. Anyway, I was looking at some maps at about 11 at night. For a 13-ish year old, that's late for a school night. Notice map of area. From 1700 something. Village is a lot smaller. My house is there though. Cool. Church is there. Road is there. Path is. I look at the map. The path up the hill is basically about 25 meters from my house, where another, newer house is now. The path connects directly to the backwards K-shape mentioned earlier. At this point, I'm not sure how to feel about it. I still don't know how I feel about it today. Asked grandfather about it. Had polio as a kid, so he can't really walk far. Hasn't been up the hills at all, but he knows about the path. He explains that it's a really old path that leads up to the hills, and eventually over them, through them, etc. Thing is, it really wasn't needed as going over the hill, as there is a way to get to the church in the valley, and it's far easier going. Most people stopped using the hill path behind my house. 13-year-old brain doesn't think about it, but adult brain does. The shadows past the window still did. Okay, I'm back. So the shadows are still on the move. Mom starts working night times more and more often now. Things are getting stressful at home. All in one room isn't really all that cool. We decide to move away, buy a family home. Move to a 2-bedroom apartment somewhere closer to a town. The move takes a few days due to school and stuff, but we do a carload every day, so we get it done eventually. New place is okay, bit small but okay. Still around 13 at this point. Still go back to village family home once in a while for lunch, etc. About a week after the move, we go for dinner. Early evening in the spring, so it's still light. I'm climbing trees outside in the garden, swinging like a monkey. Swing off low branch and it breaks. Due to swing, I fall back first, slam into some stone paving slabs, winded badly, curl backwards in pain, head now facing the hill. There it fucking is, much closer than before. Due to being dazed, probably hit the back of my head too. I really do only see a black shape. It's coming towards me. Leisurely pace though, no evil, run. Just coming down the hill, purposefully, but willing to take its time. Muster all my strength, still can't breathe properly. Get up, open the door, no dinosaur. Manage to get a sort of out loudly. Pass out. Everyone around me. You okay there, Anon? What happened? I'm fucking freaked by the thing coming towards me, but I shut my mouth and just tell them I fell on my back and got winded. It should be mentioned that we moved around quite a bit before settling back into the family home. We moved to 2 places in between living there, one of which I just described. Moving to was by far the worst. The other one was okay, but some things did happen there. I want to get into those things so you get more of a linear timeline, and especially a linear timeline as to what my brother is capable of. Imagine a house. Imagine a lighthouse. No, imagine a house that's a lighthouse but much smaller. That's the house we lived in, once again at the foot of a hill. The hill is much steeper though, and has far more trees on it. It's about 40 minutes away from the family home, so it's good enough for my mom to take care of her old folks if need be. It is however fucking far away from school. 2 rooms on each floor, give or take, and about 2 front doors. One on road level, the other connected to other houses by a balcony, with stairs going to the road. My brother, my mother, and I are on the top floor. 4 floors up, this is where we sleep. 3rd floor was a large bathroom and something we call the Admiral's room. The room just plain fucking scared me. Like the K-shaped path from earlier, something just draws you down, but in the case to the doorway, not in, not out. Then comes a dining room on the 2nd floor, with a sitting room and TV. 1st floor is a kitchen and little bathroom. As mentioned, it's fucking far away from school, so my brother and I spent some time alone there. Things watching us, constantly. We usually just played PlayStation 2, but with the door shut, this seemed to work. Corner the eyes, shadows. Go to the kitchen for a snack, they'd be there. Toilet break, they'd be outside the window, walking past, just to catch a glimpse. One day, mother dropped me off at home after school. Gonna check on parents, Anon. I'll be back in about 2 hours. Brother Anon's already home. Well, okay then. Get inside. Dead silent. Is she sure my brother is home? Call out to him. Move towards the stairs down as I came down to the 1st floor door, and not the ground floor one. Go down some stairs. My brother emerges from the kitchen, brandishing a knife. He looks serious. Oh, it's just you. Considering he's about 9 or 10, this is pretty strange for a kid. This was before his conversation started. Same house, but a few years later. We basically never paid rent there, as it belonged to a rich friend of the family's, but we had to look after it for her. We still do this to this day though. I don't like being in there, and now that I moved away, I'm happy I don't have to do it anymore. The place just feels bad, you know? It's a beautiful place to live, just something wrong. We're doing a cleanup, and I, having done my chores, went to sit in the car, listening to the radio, changing the station, the frequency, etc. Picked up a baby monitor, which was pretty funny. Find a station that's just random noises. Listen to it and turn up the volume. Defo human noises. Some words, movement, clear footsteps. I recognize the voice. It's my brother's. Hear doors. They come into the car to leave. Radio station is dead fucking silent. I would go to that radio station later into. It broadcasts a lot of different stuff. Mostly shipping forecasts. Quite relaxing really. The thing is, in all the time of being in that house, the most peaceful were the times when we just moved. Did something follow us/me? Oh well, who cares? It's not followed me after I moved away, so I'm okay here. Skip the other house mentioned earlier. Small apartment. Brother and I share a room. I hated it. #white people problems. His conversations started to my knowledge. When I came home and wanted to listen to some loud music, probably Linkin Park, brother rushes into room. Don't! She hates that. What the fuck is wrong with you? Long conversation made short. He was talking to a woman that had a name. I can't remember now. That there was a monster in the kitchen called Eglinth or something. That there was something upstairs that was not good or evil, but just stuck. Right. Not Austin Powers. His conversations with the woman are long and in-depth. I thought he'd grown out of imagined friends at this point. He did have some when he was about 4-ish. A whole family of friends, all of them. He claimed had died from a cough. Fuck knows what that means. Why is he talking to himself again? He used to keep me up at night just talking to this random imagined woman, or so I thought. It wasn't until I met the thing that was stuck that I actually started believing everything he told me about these things. The night I met the thing that was stuck, I was on the computer playing Age of Empires or something like that. The upstairs didn't really have much to offer. Mother's bedroom, small nook of a room that I claimed as my computer space. There's pillows and stuff on the floor there for relaxation. I made the mistake of falling asleep. Computer's still on. I woke up what seems only an hour later. It was getting light outside though, dawn. Not much light in the house, pitch black. Suddenly, something jabs me in the back. Really fucking hard. I can't move. Keeps jabbing at me. Feels like it's more through me than at me. Turn over. Nothing there. I feel for a light switch. Doesn't work. Okay. Try again. Works fine. That would have been way too cliche, I think to myself. Look to the bottom of the stairs. Something at the bottom of the stairs. Bag in hand. For some reason, I knew there was a head in the back. I just knew. This is the thing that was stuck. What the fuck does that mean though? Fast forward 2 weeks. Fall asleep playing Age of Empires. The same exact sequence of events happened. Apart from I didn't turn on the lights this time. It's stuck doing this. Jesus Christ, how boring. Thing is, where it goes with the bag was still a mystery to me until I started investigating it. Turns out apartment used to be over a butcher shop. Now it's an estate agent's that we used to live on top of. Kinda makes sense as no murders were reported there. The head in the bag most likely was not a human head. Phew. It's still stuck though. It should be noted that I feel like something is watching me at all points during these times. I don't know what. I can't remember what it looked like. Grandmother is getting worse, so we have to move back to the family home. Okay then, at least there's an extra room now. We've been doing some work and my brother and I get a whole room to ourselves once again. Grandparents also have a much younger dog now. Sheepdog or something, I don't know breeds. Nervous as hell. Barks at stuff all the time. Problem dog in general, as my grandparents are too old for such a young dog. We walk him a lot. He barks at stuff in the middle of the night too. It's okay, he'll get used to it. Grandmother is getting dementia. Starts talking to self/other people. Freaky shit. Brother has stopped talking to people. I don't think he can/wants to anymore. Mother starts having sleep paralysis in new room. Tells us about it. No. I've started not to like any of this stuff. Constantly nervous when at home, especially when home alone. One day, be walking the dog up the hills as that tires him out so he's not super hyperactive. Brain. Hey Anon, remember the thing you used to see up here? Anon. Oh fuck you. I hate my brain. Become nervous, but I have dog with me. Shadow people hate dogs, right? For some reason, making up stories or rules in my head has always calmed me down. Dog is walking with me quite happily. Very run, very wow. Such new thing. I'm amazed. Where's the dog running to? Aw, jizz. Further up the fucking hill. I'm running along with him as he's on a leash, and he pulls on the thing like he's crazy, so I don't want him to hurt himself. He's running like he would if he saw something was chasing him, or being chased. Right at the top of the hill is some sort of mast/pylon thingy, pig related. People only check on it once a week. Today's not one of those days. Looks innocent enough. Dog stops. I stop. Whatever's running behind us keeps running. I almost fucking wet myself. I and dog are very not happy about this. He wants to go home. I want to go home too. I turn around and walk as if I didn't see anything. Dog is comforted by this and calms down pretty soon too. Instead of going over the fields like we had been doing, I decided it would be best if we walked down the path. In hindsight, this was probably wrong. We get about here, see picture, down the path. We have to climb over a gate. I unleash the dog. Gone. Dog just fucking runs for it into the trees/bushes that you can see in the pic. R2, don't leave me. .C3PO. Climb over the fence. I look back. At least 5 of the things are just standing there, looking at me. I can feel them look at me. All around the fucking path I'd been walking down. I just run. I keep running until I can't run anymore. I'm still pretty far from home, so I take a break. Bottle of water. Sit on the grass banks of the path. Hear noise. Jump up. Water bottle raised in self-defense. Sounds like 2 people running towards me. It's not. It's dog. Wow. I'm so fucking glad to see him. He'd have found his way home, but at least now I feel safer. Give him some water to drink from the bottle. He's very grateful for this and promises not to run away again when being terrorized by the things. We walk our way home. We've got about half an hour to walk still, and it's starting to get a little cloudy. I occasionally glance back but see nothing. We're on a path that's very much like the first picture in the thread. Seems it doesn't really like to be amongst the trees, or maybe I'm wrong. I know shepherds used to use paths like this to bring flocks from A to B for safety, and now I use them for safety. We get home okay. As we get in, it starts raining. Dog looks at me like he knew what was up. The last time I encountered these things up close was brief, and I didn't see them, I only heard them. Other than seeing shapes in the hills at home, or from the car rides, nothing. I only just started smoking, so taking long walks was my way to get my fix without my mother knowing, and without smelling like smoke, which my mother would also notice. I sit down on a bench by a small river that runs through the valley. I'm staying away from the hills for now. Looks a little bit like Pig, just not as nice. See thing up in the hills, it shouts at me, "You shouldn't be doing that." Fucking nope. Seriously, I've never slept better since I moved away from there. Thing is, I have to go back more and more now. My grandfather's pretty close to death, so I have to sort more of his things out. He's moved into a nursing home. I went down there last week, slept maybe 3 to 4 hours a night. Had to wait for them just to leave. I shouldn't have invited them in those years ago. Did I done goof? Someone have similar stories or know something about this? Well, there are a few more recent. Me about 17. Spend most of the time drinking, have reasons. Drink most weekends. Sometimes go out to drink midweek. Best bar is about an hour bus ride away. Really good bar. Usually get mother to give me a lift back home. Tonight is not one of those nights. Get off the nearest bus stop to my house. About half an hour away. This is country life. Walk through what I call a bad patch of wood. Fastest way to get back though, so who cares? And it's one of the closest stops. Don't listen to Walkman, as I need to be listening out for cars and the jazz. Not a something, but someone is following me. Probably lives in the same village. Looks back to see only black. No light other than the light of the stars and moon. Okay. Probably walks this way a lot and doesn't need a flashlight. Keep walking. Get to a place where I can cut across the fields to get home in about 10 minutes rather than 20. See a shadow. Insta-note. Won't be taking that route tonight. Person behind me takes the path. Obviously not seeing anything wrong with it. I walk. And soon get within the light of the houses. Feel safe again. I'd walk this route often, and I'd say 8 out of 10 times something like this would happen. I'd only take the field route if I didn't see anything there. The field is really well lit on a clear night by the moon, so I was usually able to see my way over those fields, better than the road. Road kinda looks like the Pig, but less nice. I call this wood bad wood for a reason. It's unkempt. Thick undergrowth, can't really walk between the trees. Always seen things around those woods. Never really in them, just around them. Like previously mentioned, the thing never really liked the woods, but it was as though there was something else there, something older. I don't really want to get away from places like that, but I didn't want to stay there long either. Same goes for the previously mentioned church, but only on certain days. I've never actually been in the church grounds, just looked at it from the outside. It's a place I shall have to investigate further in the future. Suppose I'll dump some more stories for y'all. Be me, about 18, close to moving away, home alone. Ah yes, gonna watch some sweet prawns. Jizzed of Faye Reagan's ginger hair. Ah yes. At that moment, the power cuts out. Nothing new, this happens quite a lot. Light some candles, etc. Go back to laptop. I forget the router needs power. Laptop is boring. Feel a bad feeling. Nothing to do with the hill shadows, very different. It's been raining, so that's probably what cut the power. We have Sky too, so that usually goes first before the power does. The TV picture has been a bit shaky. Anyway, I get a feeling to open all the doors. Over time, I learned to trust my gut instinct. After the dog, we had 2 cats, one of which had been my companion since Germany. Beautiful Siamese cat. I hear something come through one of the doors. Old Siamese cat goes to investigate. Bless him, he was old. Fucking runs back out the door. I follow. If a cat can't deal, nor can I. Spent most of the night outside until my family came home. They laugh at me like the fucking scaredy cat I was. I'm just very skittish when it comes to things like this. I prefer to run and look, than to look then run. This happened more than once. Even after the beautiful Siamese cat died, other cats took over. The cat, almost as skittish as me, was able to investigate things like that. I just waited for him to run, and I'd run with him. I seriously owe my cats some gratitude. We'll dump another load of tales. Be about 15. Grandmother had died. She actually started being nice towards the end. Before that, there were a bit of nasty mixed with some nice. She was mostly nice. Start redoing her room into something which would later become my own bedroom. Carpets taken up, wooden flooring put in. Share this room with my brother. Oh well. The room next door was the room my mother repeatedly had night terrors in. Currently empty. This was to be my brother's bedroom, so the carpets and floorboards were taken up there too. Only the beams left in place. Every fucking night, we both hear something pacing on the non-existent floorboards. It was probably just Miss Henry, to be honest. Turns out it might be. Even now that there are floorboards in there, I still hear walking from my brother's room when I stay at home. Another short tale. Me about 15. Home Alone 2. Playing Harvest Moon or some shit. Anon! Oh, well that was Mom coming home. Better go help her. Go outside. Standing in the doorway. Nothing. Dead silence. Hear the same thing from the inside this time. Anon! Nope. 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 Run towards the road. All I thought is it's inside. From this, I pretty much got the instant reaction when feeling spooked to open all the doors. More routes for escape. Run onto the road, sit there, and call a friend of mine just because I'm scared. She's understanding, but not very patient. Eventually, makes my way back inside. Nothing there. Silent apart from the Harvest Moon music. Harvest Moon for the GameCube was my jam. Plug headphones into the TV and concentrate on nothing but the screen. I know something is there. It's not inside though. I know full well that's not allowed. We had an agreement. Play for another hour or so. Gotta get them golden eggs. Family comes home. Ask why the door's open. I don't know. Another shorter story. Not related to Hill Shadows, but may become related. Be 17 to 18ish. We have chickens, mostly rescue ones. The ones that were going to be made into KFC because they didn't lay enough eggs anymore. The chickens get to roam free in the garden most days because they're pretty good at picking off slugs and shit. At night, they go back to their fenced off chicken area. The fence is about 2.5 meters high and made of chicken wire and thick wooden poles. Sometimes a fox would manage to get in and go crazy, killing about 3 of them, taking one home to eat. It's the circle of life, so no one really gives a fuck. Badgers also get in and take one. No collateral killings, just a very quick in and out. Things like this would usually happen if the gate wasn't closed properly. No other way for things to get in. One weekend, go to feed chickens. All dead in the chicken house. Feathers have been ruffled. This isn't collateral from a fox. All of them are dead. We take them to the compost pile and dump them unceremoniously as possible. You can't get attached to chickens. Next day, put some kitchen waste on the compost. All the chickens are gone. Everything related to the chickens is gone, not even a feather. Decide to keep it to myself. Turn back the head inside the house. It's dead silent. Sinking feeling in my gut. Walk very calmly into my house. Just going to ignore the extra pair of footsteps I can hear in the gravel behind me. Oh jizz. I hope no one closed the door while I was out. They make fun of me, but I have a habit of leaving doors open. It's open. I go inside. Footsteps stop instantly. I go feed my chickens and Harvest Moon. Island Urban Legends 1. I'm not sure how accurate this one is, but we used to tell it to younger kids to spook them. B-man driving in the rain. Car crash. Nasty fucking car crash. The kind of crash where the car is crushed by a lorry. The kind you see in those Russian dashboard cam websites. Lorry driver calls police/ambulance/fire brigade. They arrive. Lorry driver is fine. Car guy isn't. He's dead, Jim. Because it's an island. It's late at night. The police and firemen say they'll do the work of getting him out of the car in the morning, and they'll put the car in the garage in town for the night and continue work in the morning. They do this. He wasn't dead. The guy wasn't fucking dead. He was trapped inside the car all night screaming. They found him in the morning dead. For real, dead. The mixture of shock, pain, and exhaustion killed him. You can still hear him some nights, but to get to him you have to walk. For you see, he's no longer very fond of cars. So I've told you there'd be more stories about that church, and then never went there again. I had to do some digging in my brain and ask my grandfather, who I'd often confide in after these happenings. Not really a nice man, but having lived in the area for so long, I guess he'd know more than I did. He's now got dementia, had 2 strokes, and is in a home, so that wasn't easy to do. I asked my mother and brother more and more about it. I've actually come up with a few separate stories that don't all roll into one in my mind. Me. Walking along the road from a hard day at school. Mom is off island for work, and brother managed to get the bus. I didn't, due to some shit I can't recall. It's okay. By road it takes about 1 hour to get home from the town where my school is. On the way there's a place I avoid like the plague. It's an old mental hospital. They've turned it into some fancy apartments now, but the place is old. I know full well what they used to do to people in places like these. Back in the UK, when being an unmarried mother was a mental illness. Pick related. In order to avoid it, I cut across a field on the brittle path. Really stony, but that's what you get in the chalk hills. I can see the asylum, but it's far enough away not to bother me. I carry on walking. I keep walking. I'm walking for longer than I thought on a relatively unused path. Did I miss my turning? My turning would have just brought me back to the main road, basically giving the asylum a wide berth. If you've ever been to the island, you'll know the roads are fucking death traps. Barely enough spaces for cars to pass each other, but I prefer to the paths in the fields and hills by now. Reasons are obvious. I light a smoke and decide to use Google Maps. Oh, I'm close to St. Olive's. Carry on walking. The village that the church is in is relatively small and quite old. I've checked that the church and the village are older than 700 years. the church having been built in 1292, and the village being in existence long before then. It's not my village, but when I ask for the way to get to my village, people know where I'm from. Good, it's not a rival village. The village itself, though, has a very strange layout. Imagine New York's grid system. This is what the village is like, but with about 12-ish houses. Who the fuck builds houses like these? The village is actually much larger and stretches off on several different roads towards farms, etc. I start walking towards the church. I felt a little strange. Not like something following me, but more like something trying to find me. Very, very paranoid. Start up my pace, like the little pussy I still am to this day, and head towards the church. I'm not a Christian, but churches, mosques, pagodas, shrines, and temples always make me feel at peace, especially those dedicated to older gods. Get into the vicinity of the church. It's summer, so there's plenty of light in the afternoon, but I can see the long K-shaped path stretching up to my right. I don't think I want to go there. The church has a few benches and the door is open. I decide to look at the notice board, then go into the yard and calm my nerves. Notice board about 3 weeks out of date, nothing current. Oh well, such is village life. At this point, I no longer feel as paranoid as I did before. Giving myself little goals and rules others had to obey gives me a great comfort. Start heading into churchyard. Gut drops. Just fucking drops. I'm staring at the church. You know, like when in films, clouds start to form above a haunted house when someone looks at it? That's exactly what this was like. I nope the fuck out of the churchyard. Something is ahead of me, quite far ahead in the fields. I don't care. I want to get away from the church. I take a left, which is now where the K-shaped path is. It's a very, very steep path. I'm running hard. My head hurts. I'm quite unfit, but not fat. I smoke a lot, so my lungs, one, aren't used to this, two, are unable to do this. Feel very, very sick. Not even nearly halfway up the path yet. I stop, look back. There are 4 or 5 black shady things standing at the edge of the forest. They're not moving. It smells beautiful, nice, fresh forest air. I catch my breath, look back, and they're gone. I walk the K-shaped path home, sticking to the trees. Despite it taking longer than going across the fields and hills, I don't want to have to run again. Pick related, it's the church on the left, and the path on the right. It gets steeper. Short story again at St. Olaf's. Be Christmas. Mother forces me to come with her to church on Christmas Eve. Okay, Mum, you're not religious. Don't be nice, Anon. Okay, whatever, fucking go. Sit down. Listen to the guy in the dress say words. I don't really like this place, but there's a lot of people. Some cute girls from the village too. Hey baby, holla at me. Go for a smoke after the service, standing in the churchyard. Everyone else is still talking inside. Person comes up behind me. Anon? Turn around. No one there. But there are people leaving the church now. I wasn't being a scared pussy per se, so I didn't lose my shit. Maybe the people coming out of the church scared whoever it was off? Or maybe it was my mom calling me from inside the crowd. Who fucking knows? This was also one of the few times St. Olaf's was actually somewhat nice. I also ended up fingering one of the cute girls from the church during New Year's. Not all that bad. Would dump some nope to keep the thread somewhat alive. Me, about 17. All rooms in house have now been completely retrofitted and refurbished. Finally, have my own room. Room with 2 doors to stairs going down. Not really a door, but more of a doorway with no door. The others go to my brother's bedroom, which also has 2 doors. On a few occasions, something simply walks into my room, looks at me, then walks out. Nope so fucking hard every time. Only ever happens once a month or so, but always leaves me sleepless. I hate going to bed late sometimes. Me, 18, be outside the house smoking. It's late at night and I've been sweating Skyrim due to being home alone. No wind, no sound other than a few cars going by. Really loud, tick. Swallowed by darkness. Fucking power cut. Walk to the front of the house, doing my signature move of leaving the door wide open. Streetlights are on. It's just our house. Go back in and get to the fuse box. Fiddle with the switches. Power's back. Head to the door I left open. Slam shut. Realize I lost my save in Skyrim. Run outside, through the front door, close it behind me. I've just fucking locked myself out. Why the fuck did I do that? Go get spare key from under pig statue and garden. Go to unlock back door, wide open. Must have been my imagination.